Hi, Chef Ryan Phillips here. You know, South Korea has all the same old fast food and drive-through options that we have back in America. But there is another, dare I say, even better option that is seaweed wrapped in rice and all sorts of other ingredients and filling. That is kimbap. So kimbap is kim and bap, and kim is this laver right here, or seaweed in these lovely sheets, and bap is the cooked rice, which I have here about 3 cups of hot, steamed short grain rice. And so our first step for making kimbap is to get this rice seasoned up and ready to go. So I've got a little toasted sesame oil going in with about 1 tablespoon, and just a little salt. We'll do about a ½ teaspoon of salt. And we're gonna mix this all together. Now, there are all different kinds of kimbap in Korea, but today we're making Chamchi Gimbap, or tuna kimbap, which traditionally you just open up a can and squeeze some mayo and some other ingredients. Today I'm gonna elevate that with some other things. First step is to burn the heck out of this red bell pepper. Don't be nervous. Trust me, I've done this many times. We're gonna put it right over the flame. And we really want this to get black on the outside. We're gonna roast it, and then we're gonna take all that black off before we use it. This is an old trick my mentor taught me about 18 years ago. Now, if you don't have a gas burner, don't worry. You can do this in the oven. It'll just need to be in there for about 30 or 40 minutes. This is beautifully roasted all the way around. And now we're gonna get it into a bowl and cover that with some wrap. And you can already see some steam forming in here, and that's what we need. We're gonna let the residual heat actually help us to peel this. So we just let this sweat for 5 or 10 minutes, and then it makes it real easy to remove all that charred bit. Now, there's no shame in just opening up a can of tuna fish, but I happen to have this beautiful ahi right here, and I'm just gonna cut this down to cook for our kimbap instead of opening a can. This was really my go-to order when I first came to Korea. And when my mother and father came to visit, and my sister as well, this was one of their favorite things that we'd have almost every day, is a Chamchi Gimbap. Okay. Let's just season these a bit with salt and pepper. Now let's get a pan going really good and hot, because it's not gonna take long to cook these. And then just a little bit of cooking oil. So we're gonna cook these just on about 20 seconds on each side, and they're done. Pan is good and hot, let's get cooking. This is cooked perfectly all the way through. It's not just seared on the outside. This is totally done and ready to use for our kimbap. There we go. That looks and smells amazing already. Our bell pepper has been sweating here. Let's take a look at it. What's happening is the moisture, the steam on the inside is coming up under the charred bits and it's kind of pushing them up. So now they're gonna be easier to remove. I just have a little paper towel here and just do like this with a paper towel and the outside will just rub right off. And what you're left with, see that beautiful roasted flesh there underneath. Now you will be tempted to run this under the sink to get the charred bits off, but don't do that. Just keep rubbing and using your fingers to get rid of it. That way you'll be able to hold on to that charred flavor. There we go. Now, no more of that peel is there. This is gonna give a great red color to our kimbap, so we need to cut it into slices that'll fit in there. So I'm just gonna cut these edges off. That way we're going around the seeds. Oh, it smells so good. And then we're just gonna cut these into nice little strips. Now just 2 more ingredients for our kimbap today, one of which is very important. It is the tamujin, or the yellow pickled radish. If you don't have this, you might want to use a sweet dill pickle, something like that, or a bread and butter pickle will get you pretty close. The other ingredient is perilla leaf. And I love, love, love this ingredient. Such a bright flavor. If you don't have access to perilla leaves, you might try something like fresh basil or maybe even coriander. Now, I have a little tool here that's gonna help me out with this, but you don't absolutely have to have these things. If you do have one, lay it down on your board to where you can roll it towards you, all right? And then grab a sheet of laver or kim. And you may notice that this has a rough side to it and a smoother side to it. The smoother side to be on the outside, so I'm gonna lay it down this direction. Time to get our bap, or our cooked rice, into our kimbap. So just with your hands, we need to do a thin layer covering this 80% of the way. Down at the bottom, closer to you, you want to leave 20% or about 1.5 inches open with no rice there. And ready for our next ingredients. 2 perilla leaves, and lay those down with the points going outwards. Next, we've got our yellow pickled radish going right on. Then a couple of pieces of our cooked tuna. Put those across, and maybe about 4 little slices of your red bell pepper across there. And you could just, use a store-bought, but I made up a little homemade mayo right here. Let's get that on our tuna. Okay. All right, now rolling this, you can just kind of pull it towards you, back over the top. All right, give a little push. When I was doing this with my niece a few months ago back in America, she wanted to squeeze this and all the ingredients are, no, you don't have to squeeze very hard. Just a light press there. And then it's a good idea to have maybe just wet your fingers just a little bit of water, and give a little dab on the last bit. That part that we did not put rice on is now gonna help hold it all together. So now you can keep wrapping the rest of the way. Give it one more little squeeze, and done. There we go. There's just one final step before we slice that, and that is to brush with a little toasted sesame oil. Just a tiny bit here. All right, nice and shiny now. Let's slice it up. Nice sharp knife. You don't want to slice these too thin or they'll fall apart, but these are gonna be perfect for healthy fast food, or this time of year, everybody takes these out into the parks or along the Han River in Seoul. You'll see folks enjoying kimbap as a picnic snack. Chamchi Gimbap is done. Can't wait to dive into this elevated tuna gimbap here. Here we go. That little bit of fire roasted pepper, but with that pickled radish. So sweet, kind of savory, sweet, fire roasted, lovely tuna and homemade mayo. Just absolutely beautiful. Simple and delicious. Oh.